What if the life you have built isn't proof that you have healed, but proof that you've learned how to survive? Think about that for a minute. There's a difference between surviving and healing. And for many, many years, I didn't know the difference between the two. Healing and surviving, or healing versus surviving, is two different things. So we're going to talk about that today. Welcome back to Breaking Cycles with Tamara. My name is Tamara Hamill. I'm a speaker, an author, a talent acquisition leader, and founder of Breaking Cycles Youth Initiative. Last week, I shared the moment I decided something in my life had to change. Today, I want to talk about something that took me years to understand. The difference between surviving and healing. Many of us, let's be honest, completely authentic, transparent, yet truthful. Many of us has become true expert at survival. We function, we work, we raise families, we show up for everyone else but ourselves. But underneath it all, underneath the layers of who we are and who we want the world to see, we may still be carrying pain, and we do still carry pain that we're not addressing or choose to address. For much of my life, I thought survival was strength. I really did. I thought it was strength. I thought just showing up and girl, you're surviving, you conquer this, you got the degrees, you have the family, you married, you raise the children, they're successful. You did what you're supposed to do. It looks good on the surface, the outside layer. It all looks good. But was it truthful? It shows that it was fruitful to an extent, but things are only truly fruitful when the internal is safe, when the internal is healed, and when the internal does not have any blemishes. I thought that if I could keep moving, keep performing, and keep pushing forward, I was healing. But what I found out later was that I had to eventually learn those are not always the same thing. And it took years. I'm walking differently now. I'm showing up differently. I am no longer performing for the world, because for years I was performing for the world, and I could be honest about that because that's my truth, and I had to learn how to live my true authentic truth in myself. So for years, I was one of those people that were performing from around my 20s to my 30s. In a little bit of my 40s, I'm 50, coming up 52 years old now. So I stopped performing a long time ago. It's more than 10 years. But I had to learn how to get there. I had to learn that I can't carry guilt and feel ashamed for the things that was done to me. And I know a lot of you that have not read my book. Hopefully you will capture those and understand, because Breaking Cycles talk about my healing journey and my process. In Backbone, I call that book my coming out, because it was truly me coming out and understanding that I wasn't meant to stay broken. And so I took everything in my journals, and I have a lot of journals. I took everything in my journals and turned it into a book that I didn't know was going to go anywhere. To be honest with you, I didn't know it was. And now my book is turning heads and a possibility of a movie. And so for a lot of years, my focus was on, you're a mom, you're a wife, show up for the things that were told to you, get the degrees, you're going to do well. I had the jobs, did well, but was I truly well? So for those of you who don't or haven't read my book, I was raped as a child. I was molested throughout my years as a kid growing up. Dealt with a lot of abandonment issues, dealt with a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't beautiful enough. Didn't know how to show up for myself, so I hide under the pressures of the world, how I thought the world should see me versus how I see me. And growing up in those survival mode and learning to suppress emotions, trying to functioning despite the pain that I was feeling and going through. I want everyone to know that your situations in life doesn't define you. Doesn't define you. Because mine's, I refuse for it to define the purpose that God saw for my life and how he created me to be and what he created me to be. And so being a child that was molested, I was raped, growing up where my own biological mother gave me up. My father had legal custody of us and raised us. And my own biological mother telling me that I was too black to be her child. Yes, you heard that right. I was too black to be her child. And so I struggled with a lot. I struggled for the approval, the validation, the acceptance. People that were with me, but when I tell my story and starting to use my voice to bring change and help others, that I know that I'm not the only one suffering with the things or have suffered the things that I've gone through, but they haven't found their voice. I found mine, and I'm deciding to do good with mine. But I still had people around me that were even embarrassed or now ashamed of my story and my telling, because now they're attached to me. So because you're attached to me or somewhat in my circle that you claim, now that I am sharing who I used to be, not who I am now, but who I used to be, you see that as shame. You see that as, oh, now people are looking at me. Oh, I don't want to be associated with you. Oh, I don't want people to question me. So now my journey becomes your shame, but I had to realize that those people that feel that now I'm shaming them because they may be tied to me, I released. Because what you will not do is continue to project your now inner demons and yourself from not growing onto where I am and what God has brought me through. And so becoming successful while still carrying wounds was a dark place. That was hard because I had a lot of success. A lot of success. And you guys have heard me, those who know me. I know quite a few of you are going to listen to this and don't truly, or fully, I should say, know me, because I want to be authentic as possible. You've heard me say that at times where you can be rich, but still be poor. Some folks may say, how is that possible? Come on now. You can be rich, but still be poor, because money doesn't bring you happiness. It's material. And the same way you could be rich today, you can be poor tomorrow, losing all that money. But does it really bring you gratification? Does it really bring you happiness? Does it really bring you fulfillment? What does that look like? Realizing achievements does not equal healing. I had to realize that very early on. Got the bachelor's, got the master's, got the PhD. Achieving all of these things that I was told, if you don't have the degrees, you're not good enough. So realizing achievement does not equal healing. I had to learn that very fast. When I took the time to truly dive into the work I need to do internally for me, that became clear. Understanding the difference between coping and healing. Ooh, that touched differently. That hits differently because I was coping. I wasn't healing. I was coping. Let's go in with the flow. I became very good at surviving. I did. Because I planted a picture for the world to see. Even though I had a village, and I had a very, very good village. I really did. Some of my village I had to let go because I noticed they weren't pouring into me the way I thought they should. But I also realized there were a lot of people I thought were my village that were also broken and were projecting onto me, then fixing them. Because that's what we do. We tend to quickly project our beliefs, our wisdom, our understanding, making people feel bad and all that onto others because we constantly stay running from ourselves. And I had to stop running. I think I was around 42 after my first brain surgery in 2015. That I was just like, girl, you got to stop running. You got to stop. It's time to really look into who you are every day for yourself and how you are showing up. And that took time. It wasn't an overnight process. It took time. And so I knew how to work. I knew how to show up. I knew how to push through, but I didn't know how to sit with pain, my pain, to acknowledge it and begin healing from it. I didn't know, mind you. My first encountered being molested was between the ages 5 and 7. At 9 years old, I was molested again. At 11 years old, I was molested again. My last attack, I was in high school, my senior year of high school. Yeah, at White Plains High School in New York. That was my last attack. And it was an attack. I wasn't raped or molested because I fought like hell. Came out with a lot of bruises, but I fought. So I dealt with a lot of trauma. At 11 years old, my stepmom had beat me, broke my nose. They tried to fix it back on their own, kept me out of school because they didn't want the cops to be involved. And so they kept me out of school by trying to fix my nose. At 40 years old, I went through brain surgery, my first brain surgery, because of what happened to me as a child. Who would have known that what happened to me at 11 would came back to haunt me at 40 years old? I became so bitter when I found out why I had to go through brain surgery. Because the only illness I've ever had, and it wasn't an illness, was giving birth to 2 amazing kids. I was not a person to get sick, never had to go to the doctor for anything. And now I'm going through brain surgery because of what happened to me as a child. Unheard of, but it happened. 2019, 6 years ago, I went through the second one. And so my first brain surgery in itself, it was hard to comprehend because I didn't want to accept it. And so I was questioning God's purpose for my life because I was in a place where things were good. And then this, and so I digressed. And I was just like, God, did you bring me into this world for everything bad to happen to me? I was questioning. I'm going to be honest with you. But I quickly learned that God gave his strongest or his hardest battle to his strongest soldiers. And so by the time my second brain surgery came on, I was just like, I threw my hands up. I was just like, okay, what do you want me to learn from this, Lord? Teach me. Bring it on. Bring it on. At that point, bring it on. Because obviously, you need for me, or I need to realize that there's more for me and more for me to do than what my eyes or my mind is able to comprehend. So I said, bring it on, Lord. And so now I'm telling you, it took a few years to get to where I needed to be. But now I'm walking so strong and so powerful that let me tell you, whatever comes my way, whatever comes, I feel sorry for it. I really do. Because I'm a roaring and conquering lion. And so I want you to walk away understanding this. and these lessons that I want to provide to you. And lesson 1 talks about survival is necessary. They are necessary because they're going to build you. They build character. There are seasons when survival is exactly what we need. We really do. We all see what COVID did to a lot of us. Lots. Survival kept me alive. It really did. Kept me alive. Survival protected me. Really did. And I'm thankful for it because I come out renewed. I'm a better person. I'm a different person. I walk with my head held high. I no longer do this. I'm no longer ashamed. My situations were unfortunate. They didn't define me. Lesson number 2. Healing requires facing what hurt you. That's what healing did for me. It requires me to face what was hurting me inside. Eventually, I had to stop running from my pain and start understanding it. My feet get tired. I had to stop running. And I want you to be able to stop running as well. Where are you running to? Better yet, who are you running from? Because I guarantee you no one is chasing you. So who are you running from? When we keep running, we're running away from ourselves. I was that person. I used to be that person. I want you to learn how to show up better for you. Lesson number 3. Healing is not linear. It's not. Healing is not a straight line. It isn't a straight line. It's not a straight line. There are going to be setbacks, difficult days, and moments when old wounds are going to resurface, because they will resurface. You'll have triggers. Triggers are real. They're real. So it will resurface. That doesn't mean that you're failing. Doesn't mean that you're failing at all. And you, at some point, you got to realize you are healing. Are you healing? Or have you simply become very good at surviving? We can't become simply good at just surviving. We can't. In upcoming episodes, we'll discuss people pleasing because we need to talk about it. We'll identify self-worth. It needs to be talked about. We'll talk about resilience, forgiveness, and how to find your voice. Because breaking cycles in families and communities as well is just as important. So those are going to be upcoming topics that we're going to be talking about. I want for you to take some time to reflect on everything that I provided you today. Thank you again for spending time with me. If today's conversation resonates with you, I encourage you to subscribe, follow along. Do follow along and share this episode with someone who may need it. Please do. Let's break cycles together. Let's start showing up differently for ourselves. And what I want you to remember and take away with everything that I've said here today, remember this. Survival may keep us alive, but healing helps us to truly live. Let me say that again in case you missed it. Survival may keep us alive, but healing helps us to truly live. You can learn more about my books, Breaking Cycles and Backbone, speaking engagements, workshops, and the Breaking Cycle Youth Initiative on TamaraHamill.com. Until next time, continue to choose healing, growth, and the courage to break cycles. Peace and love be with you. I'm on all social media platforms. Don't be afraid to look me up. You could go, like I said, directly to Tamara.com, my website. My links are there, and follow along. God bless you. I love you. Peace and love.